Hello. This is Marvel Rivals. It's a hero shooter, or whatever. 6-on-6 team battles, I guess? Overwatch was the big name in the genre for almost a decade, or something. I never played it. I was always too scared. Marvel Rivals came out at the end of 2024. It's an Overwatch clone using Marvel characters, basically. At the beginning of Season 1, I decided I was going to take the plunge into the genre. I logged into Steam, hit download, booted it up, and before I was hit with any ultimate attacks, I was hit with, whoa, okay, right on. I see the vision, Gooners to the front. There's nothing inherently wrong with accentuating certain assets, but if you're going to do it in your video game, it opens up a whole other can of worms. It's obvious that the characters are designed with a certain appeal in mind. Is it inappropriate, or is it all just good, clean fun? Today we gotta have the Marvel Rivals skimpy outfit conversation. Good thing this channel isn't monetized yet. Likes and subs, let's go. On the surface, this conversation is a silly discussion about hot cartoon characters and the nerds that drool all over them. But there is cultural nuance here if we dig just a little deeper. Fundamentally, the argument is about how the game is appealing to the male gaze by exploiting women, which is a lot more significant of a topic than if we all collectively think Emma is a thick queen or not. I would have a problem with all of that if I felt Rivals approached its character design in a predatory way and made people feel uncomfortable. The truth of the matter is, I don't think Marvel Rivals does it in a particularly disgusting or egregious way. I think what they're doing is fun and tasteful, but it doesn't come without a few critiques and criticisms. This may be a YouTube video in the year 2025, but Salt and Peppa said it best in the 90s when they said, "Come on, let's talk about sex, baby." Before we get into the scandalous skins and bodacious character models, we should kind of establish who they're being designed for in the first place. Marvel Rivals has managed to capture what I'm calling the 5G audience. That's not a Wi-Fi signal I'm talking about. In this case, the 5Gs are guys, girlies, gooners, gays, and gamers. They got the full quintet. All the G's. The daily player base may have fallen slightly in Season 2, but the core 5G audience remains. It's also important to mention off rip that Rivals is a free-to-play game, and the company makes a lot of their money by selling these saucy skins to the 5G. You see where this is going, right? They have already captured the audience that is going to buy the spicy skins. So obviously, they're gonna sell that audience the spicy skins. Where issues may lie and what the devs have to keep in mind is that this game is widely accessible to kids, and they don't wanna accidentally distribute Rule 34 material openly on the PlayStation Network. Probably. They definitely aren't doing that, but they certainly are finding the line, and they're treading it pretty darn close. My opinion is that in the year 2025, I like seeing mainstream properties taking risks and being a little bit edgy. Everything out there has become so safe and sterile that in comparison, when this Emma Frost skin hits the game, it causes mass hysteria. This skin brings a whole new meaning to the word skin. It's basically all skin. This is the outfit that I think rides closest to the line of inappropriate, but if any comic book character is gonna have a costume like this, it is 100% canonically gonna be Emma friggin' Frost. This has always been her thing, and to be fair, I've seen them do much more creative things to make her basically naked in the comics. If the devs designed all the characters like this, then yeah, we'd have a problem. But as a one-off, shock value, head-turning conversation piece, I think it accomplishes the mission and then some. Now, would I criticize a mother for not wanting her kid to play a character that's parading around the battlefield like that? No, not at all. That's not my place. But from what I see online, Emma Frost has a massive female fan base that finds her to be an empowering and inspiring addition to the game. More on Emma Frost in a bit. No one ever talks about how naked Groot is. That motherfucker is the exhibitionist of the game. He's literally naked hard wood. Groot might be the sluttiest character in the entire game, high key. As I alluded to a moment ago, if the devs made all the characters that crazy, then maybe there might be an argument of misogyny and exploitation. If people are going to flame the game for being playable hentai, then we should probably examine the ratio of over-sexualized characters to non-over-sexualized characters to at least present a valid argument. When we do this, I don't think it's fair to include a character on the goon list just because they're presented as fit and in a bodysuit. That has always been the superhero character trope for over 100 years now. Superheroes are going to be fit, and there's nothing inherently sexual about being jacked.
Oh, yeah. That's the whole goddamn package right there.
At the time of recording, there are a total of 38 playable characters in Marvel Rivals. Among them, there are 22 dudes, all hunks, 13 ladies, all babes, a shark, a tree, and a raccoon. Of all 38 characters, there are of course a million purchasable skins. From my count, there are only 3 extremely overtly sexualized female characters in Malice, Purple Psylocke, and Emma Frost. The most over-sexualized character in the entire game is a dude though. Have you seen Venom? That package, those quads, those traps, that stance, that tongue, those cheeks, that twerk, man. Venom is a nasty freak. If they made Emma Frost do half the shit Venom does, there'd be an M for mature rating on this game for sure. The rest of the characters, for the most part, are attractive badasses, dudes and chicks alike. That just feeds into the fantasy of a superhero universe. If someone is daydreaming out there about what power they'd have and how they'd use it, literally no one is saying, I'd love to be able to fly, but also be fat, ugly, slow, out of shape, and have terrible clothes. Nah, man, that's not the fantasy. The fantasy is to be cool and sexy and brave and strong. To be a peak person. I just wish there was another, more snappy word for peak person. Oh wait, there is. Super friggin' hero. If you're gonna be all mad at the butts and bodysuits, well then maybe superhero comic books just aren't your thing. And that's totally okay, I get that. The developers aren't going goon crazy, they do show restraint. Characters like Black Widow, Mantis, Scarlet Witch, Luna Snow, and Psylocke's base skin prove that they can make strong, appealing characters without leaning too hard into the risque. But when it comes time to go for the saucy, they certainly like to make it jiggle jiggle.
My money doesn't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I wanna see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Now that we established that the devs are going to make attractive characters and present them to the 5G, it's obvious they have a type. The dudes making this game love themselves a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baddie in a white and blue bodysuit, don't they? Out there on the battlefield, it's almost impossible to tell the difference between Dagger, Emma Frost, and Invisible Woman. The blonde hair thing isn't exclusive just to the women though. Adam Warlock, golden blonde hunk. Captain America, chiseled blonde hunk. Hawkeye, long-haired blonde hunk. Human Torch, flaming blonde hunk. And Star-Lord, dreamy cheekbone hiding Star-Lord. Have you seen this dude without his mask? Cheekbone for days. He's Hollywood handsome. Star-Lord, more like good lord. That's a lot of blondes. We could probably go another year or so before introducing another blonde baddie to the game, NetEase. Chill. The larger societal conversation surrounding using sex to sell a product is as old as capitalism itself. I understand if you have a moral objection to it. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong about that. I can totally understand how it can make some people feel icky. When it's done to the extremes they did in 90s beer commercials, then yeah, I can see how it could be seen as a little much. If the cover of Marvel Rivals was Luna Snow with a cherry in her mouth and her top falling off, then that's a whole different conversation. But that's not what we got with Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals sells the superhero fantasy and exhilarating gameplay packaged in a skin-tight onesie.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
When we're talking about attractive characters in gaming, however, it opens the floor to the toxic, red pill, anti-woke gamer crowd who are allergic to pronouns and showers. You know, the Asmongoulds and Quarterings of the world. That section of the gamer population is unfortunately very vocal and very loud. I find that ironic because those dudes only make up a fraction of one of the G's in the 5G, yet they seem to have the most power when it comes to the opinions disseminating online surrounding this topic. They are the ones that get the most angry when you present a female character as anything other than a sex symbol. This game, unfortunately, does nothing to silence that crowd. If anything, it emboldens them, maybe a little bit too much in some aspects, I'd say. But to Marvel Rivals' credit, I believe they have found a way to appeal to the toxic crowd without alienating the remaining members of the 5G. The guys, girlies, gooners, gays, and gamers.
Please don't hurt me.
When it comes to this sort of thing in video games, Marvel Rivals isn't the first to do it, and they're certainly not the worst example of it. This is literally as much a part of gaming culture as high scores and speedruns. Tomb Raider, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, Nier Automata, Bayonetta, all these series are known for leaning into sex appeal. Nothing goes as wild as Dead or Alive Volleyball though. I couldn't imagine playing Dead or Alive Volleyball and having someone walk in on me. How am I going to explain that? Nothing on the mainstream will ever be as crazy as Dead or Alive Volleyball. Oh wait, maybe BMX XXX. Remember that? That shit was nasty. Overall, I think Marvel Rivals isn't any more extreme than anything on that list, but there are some things they could be doing better. I will admit the character design is 100% in line with the male gaze, and that needs to be addressed and fixed. I don't mind the skimpy outfits just as much as the next guy, but they gotta get the dudes in on the action too. We already have the skin-tight bodysuits on the go, so that's good, but there are a couple silver foxes and rugged bad boys that I would love to see get the malice treatment. Put Doctor Strange in one of those ankle-showing suits. Show off those promiscuous ankles, man. Let's give Mr. Fantastic an X-rated mustache and get some chest hair and 70s running shorts on the go. With summer coming up, we need some Star-Lord and Spider-Man Speedo skins. Jeff may be too cute to be sexy, but imagine dark and gloomy emo gothic Rocket the Raccoon. The girlies and gays would swoon. And since I see Venom as the male equivalent to Emma Frost when it comes to feature exaggeration, he's gonna need the next shockingly slutty skin. They can't go to Goonsville every time they drop a skin though. That would be a little insane. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with leaning into it a bit for an audience that is already on board for the journey. The 5G is made up of more than just straight white dudes who like pretty girls though, and I feel that that crowd needs to be afforded the same fun as everyone else. The Emma Frost design is shocking, but that's kind of the point. If they did this same outfit for Penny Parker, then I would stop playing the game forever out of total disgust, but that's not the case at all. To answer the question from the top of the video, are the skins and overall character designs inappropriate? Nah, they're fine, and to be fair, some of them are fine. As a straight white guy, I'm not really the one to ask if it's a problem or not. From the player base though, I am not seeing any pushback from the women who play the game. I think the only people that might have any issues with the jiggle physics and bouncing behinds would be overly protective parents, self-righteous middle-aged Karen types, the ultra-religious, and unemployed activists, otherwise known as the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
We are the Four Horsemen! Woo!
The game isn't honestly 100% Gooner-centric. There just so happens to be some Gooner elements to it. I don't feel like this game is unsafe material for kids, not by a long shot. It honestly is just good, clean fun. I understand if you find it cringe that a bunch of nerds are calling cartoon characters mommy, because to be fair, it kinda is. However, the thirsty audience is there, and it would be foolish not to hydrate them. In my opinion, I think that the way NetEase is handling sex appeal is balanced, safe, sexy, and fun. Keep them coming. Thanks for watching.
I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the line.
ain't nice. I'm the devil's right-hand man.